going on, guys? It's right here as more news coming in the world of gaming, especially E3 this weekend with the reveal of Forza Horizon 4, and it's gonna be set in where else? The UK. I was kind of hoping that it wouldn't be in the UK. I was excited. This was one of the most exciting things I had this year, besides Avengers: Infinity War. Even though that movie didn't live up to expectations, it still did pretty good, and I saw it twice in theaters. I was hoping the same for Horizon 4, that it would be living up to expectations of what everybody was saying. Expecting it to be in Japan. People thought it would be a Toyota supercar or somewhere in Asia. And what we get? The UK. Oh my god. I was really disappointed when I realized in the trailer, that's not Japan. And I looked at the license plate like, oh god, the UK. And the fact is, it's exactly what people predicted. I should have realized that it would be the UK. Especially with the leaks from the Forza Motorsport 7 leaking about 30 British cars or so. And the fact that people say, oh, the new McLaren Senna will be the cover and guess what? It is. It's really kind of disappointing that they're going to be in the UK. And it kind of ruined it for me. They ruined the hype and everything. But I still like the trailer though, seeing the fact that it has different seasons. That's pretty cool to see that. But the Crew 2 is doing that as well, based on what I've heard and seen. Also, the fact is that it has different kinds of showcase events with bikes and hovercrafts, but don't get your hopes up that they're actually going to be in the game. I think it's just basically just meant for showcase events, pretty much there. And the fact that it also has the Forza-thon lobbies, that the Forza-thon live thing where you can play against others, it doesn't really make much sense unless you're playing online. But the thing is, I heard that Ralph Fulton said, or one of the guys at Playground Games, saying that it's going to be offline as well because people have issues with the servers, and if they crash, then they're crashing and everything. Yeah, that's something else that can happen with players as well, especially something with the Crew 2, but they're not really doing anything about that since that's an MMO game, meaning that it's an online-only game. But based on what I see in the trailer, I like the fact that they're doing the seasons things, even though that's not the only thing they're trying to do. But also the fact that you can have custom houses, that's pretty interesting. But the fact is that it's set in Europe again, especially if you play Forza Horizon 2, it took place in Southern Europe and Northern France, Italy, something like that. But fact is, why is it taking place in Europe again? It makes no sense to me. It should have taken place in Japan. Really disappointed the fact that that's the case. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. Should it have to take place in Japan or the UK? But I should have realized it would be in the UK, especially the fact that Playground Games is based there. And they're based in Scotland, I think, and part of the game will take place in part of Scotland, part of England as well. Very much there, but it's unfortunate that this had to be the case. Pretty much ruined the hype for me. I'm not really sure if I'm going to get the game, but possibly. But I'm leaning towards no right now. But let's see what they do, if they can make it better, maybe. But right now I'm leaning towards no. I may pass on Forza Horizon 4. Unfortunately, the fact that it's set in the UK is exactly what people didn't want it. Except for the people from the UK, of course. UK, what I've heard, is kind of boring. It rains a lot, but no disrespect to them. It just seems kind of boring to me. I kind of expected them to be in the UK at some point, but why would they go back to Europe without going to Asia or Africa or South America? It really makes no sense to me. Now this means that, I guess on the bright side, this means that now the UK will not happen in the next Horizon game, so that's out of the picture. But now other possibilities could be Japan now could be the lead as far as that's concerned, hopefully. But Horizon 4 just got revealed, so there's going to be a lot more information about it. Cars and everything, and fact is that they had the seasons is pretty cool, but Crew 2 is doing that now. So, and also the fact that the map doesn't look that as exciting. It looks really similar to Horizon 3. I was really pumped up for that game. I remember watching it during E3 2016 and seeing how awesome it was. Even though it took place in Australia, I didn't care about where it took place at that time. I was just excited to see what Horizon 3 was. It looked more exciting, that trailer, to be honest, and just seeing all the different environments and everything in Horizon 4 just seemed kind of, okay, I guess. But the seasons, though, was nice, and that was a pretty cool thing. The fact that you can get custom houses, custom races as well. I heard that the custom houses, though, you won't be able to see much of it. I think only Forza Vista, but you can't drive. You can't walk around it like you could in the Crew 2 or even in TDU. And this fact that they're doing that's nice, but that's not enough as far as that's concerned. They got to do something more with the progression, have more of a story mode, and fact is, it looks just like Forza Horizon 3. It doesn't have much difference besides certain things. Could be wrong, but there hasn't been enough to sway me, especially with the location fact that it's already made in Europe, why go back? But the fact that they're taking place in Playground Games is from the UK, and that's where they're based. And that I should not have been surprised by this, but I was let down by the fact that in Japan, rumors, everything like that. The fact that it would take place in Asia, that would have been nice, but I think that this is not what they wanted. Like a lot of people want it, but a lot of people want it as well. And I think they just wanted to just maybe get it out of the way, and hopefully maybe they'll listen to the fans at some point with Horizon 5 and have it in Japan at some point. You would think that the next one would have to be in Japan, but with Playground Games and Turn 10, you never know. People were thinking, oh, no, with the leak of the Forza 7 cars, oh, it's not going to be in the UK. They did that with Australia when they did Forza Motorsport 6. With that game, leaked a bunch of Australian cars. It took place in Australia. The fact is they're not going to do that again, and they did. Which tells you Turn 10 and Playground is kind of predictable with leaks. And unfortunately, most leaks and rumors turned out to be true with anything, movies or games especially. The fact is, those leaks ended up being true. And all the UK boys ended up being right. So nothing against them. It's just unfortunate that it had to be in a place boring like the UK. Not much excitement over there, unfortunately. I could be wrong, but as far as the game is concerned, maybe it's a lot nicer to probably go there in person. But for a video game, not as much excitement there. And the fact is, it should not be set in the UK. But I figured at some point it was gonna be because the studio is from there. If your studio is based somewhere, you're gonna set the game at that place at some point. Or maybe what they're doing is having it in the UK just to not have it later, and then later set up Japan and then get what actually people want. Even though people have been saying that they haven't listened to the fans as much, I think they've listened to them at some point. Especially when the people wanted the Nissan Silvia S14, they got that in the game. But what else have they listened to? Well, they've been wanting more mountain drifts, so let's see what they could do with Horizon 4. But I'm leaning towards not getting it at this point. But based on what I see, the trailer looks decent, but not as good as Horizon 3. And the fact is, why would I get a game that would be almost the same unless it is better and good? But based on what I see, the weather thing, that looks nice, but that's not enough, and they gotta do better. And I think a Japanese setting would really help that, and that would get more players to actually play it, even though people would be like, no, not Japan, because of all the drifting and everything. But I think it would be a nice place for a Horizon game, to be honest. But we're gonna have to deal with the UK for now, and that's what it's gonna be. And it's gonna get a ton of UK cars and all the stuff there, and all the British, the chavs and the man all that stuff that they say over there. But that's their words and everything, and they're gonna probably want to be able to make it as accurate as they can to that country as possible. And we'll see what they do, but I'm not going to really play it, but I may still watch videos and talk about it at least, because I'm a Horizon fan, and I want them to do well. I just didn't want this location, at least not in this game. I figured at some point they would have it in the UK, because that's where the studio is based. Why wouldn't you take a place over there? It probably was a lot cheaper to do it this time, but maybe it's a good thing they got it out of the way, so now the people like myself that wanted Japan will get it at some point. Most likely the next Horizon, you hope. Unless they do it in Dubai. Ugh. Not in a sandy, man-made place. No disrespect there. It would just be kind of boring. But I think that the next Horizon will take place in Japan now that the UK will be out of the way. And now people won't be asking for it because they got it now. And the thing is, with most YouTubers, though, they're mostly from the UK. And I guess a lot of them want it. You know, not all of it, but most of them would like the UK, especially seeing where they're from and everything. But they got what they wanted, and good for them. And if they have fun, good luck to them. But I'm planning not on getting the game right now. I plan on sitting out Horizon 4. Listen, it looks too good to pass up. As of right now, there's not a lot of information revealed. But let's see what else information they reveal. I heard a lot of things about Forza 7. In fact, with the loot boxes and everything, the transactions, a lot of people were turned off by that. And the fact is, I would be if that was the case in Horizon 4, but I'm probably going to be turned off anyway by the location. Nothing against the location. It just wasn't meant to be for this game when everyone wanted Japan. And the fact is, that's the one thing about Turn 10 and Playground games, is that they don't always listen to what fans want. And that wasn't the case here. Oh, the leaks were pointed to Asia, Hong Kong, Japan, other places. Nothing. The UK one, a lot of people said that was legit, and they turned out to be right, unfortunately. But they knew what they were seeing, and the leaks were from game files. And the fact is now those cars are probably going to be in Horizon 4 most likely, especially in the UK, whether as DLC or at launch. So there's going to be a lot of UK focus in the game, obviously, since it's there. But will there be any clues that it could be in Japan at some point? I have a feeling it will be in the next one, because where else will they put it? Will they put it in Dubai? Who knows? But that's a long way down the road. It just Horizon 4 was just revealed, and it's just disappointing in my opinion that it was revealed in UK. That was mostly why I was disappointed with the trailer. But the trailer was overall was kind of decent, besides the location. But I had no issues like with Horizon 3 at all. No gripes with that game. It was just that good. And the fact is, this game is not the hype that I had with that one. And I was just so pumped for Horizon 3. And the fact is now, Horizon 4, I'm not going to be as excited for it. I watched the trailer so many times when it was revealed at E3 2016, Horizon 3, when it was revealed in Australia. I couldn't stop watching. It was just so good. And the game was so much fun to play as well, even though it was mainly flat and there was a lot of terrain as far as elevation. I didn't care. It was just so much fun. And to be able to play it as many hours as I've had and did, it was just incredible. And the fact now that Horizon 4 will be back in Europe when it was already there in Horizon 2, it just didn't make sense because there was still continents it had been on. And people were expecting it to be on a different continent. But you don't know Playground Games. None of us do. And look what they did. They put it in their country. So, but it'll probably still be successful. But how successful, that'll be something else. Will people be turned off by it quickly like some were for Horizon 3 and Horizon 2? The best one, as far as success is concerned, is Horizon, the first one, as far as like popularity amongst players and the ones that enjoyed the gameplay itself the most. Horizon 3 commercially was the most successful, but the original Horizon was the most best successful amongst players, and it had more of a story to it. Players were always had something to go after. They had to beat somebody to try to get to the top. You didn't get that in Horizon 2, and definitely not Horizon 3, because Horizon 3 you were your old boss, and you ended up having to be the one being on the top at the beginning, and all you did was expand festivals and you raced just to get fans, and you didn't really have to beat anybody. You were on top. But with Horizon, you had to beat guys to get to the certain level wristbands, and you needed to rank up, and you had somebody to beat and somebody to hate. And that was a great way to do it. Street races were incredible in that game, especially with making it look like an illegal street race environment. And it worked. And it hasn't been able to do it since. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But now with the release of the Crew 2, Horizon's got a lot of competition now. And they got to step up their game. Let's see if they do it. But I don't know if it'll be as good being in the UK as it would have been in Japan. But we'll see. But they're likely going to probably win a lot of awards, as Forza games usually do. And let's see if they're actually good enough to play. But I'm leaning towards no at this point. But let's see what happens, though. More information about it. It should be interesting to see what kind of vehicles they reveal, though. And see what they got. That's for sure. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like. If you're brand new, subscribe. And also, we hear some gameplay from E3, courtesy of IGN. Here it is. Enjoy. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Welcome to autumn. A new beginning for the festival that never ends. Don't go anywhere. Horizon is here to stay.
Don't miss the checkpoint, so let's go.
We just lose yellow. Coming up on the quarry.
Woohoo! Hey, Blue, thread the needle with me. Red's down, red's down.
Looks like I'm the only one left.
This is it, Horizon. We are kicking off the summer season with the greatest race of all time. Point yourself in the direction of Horizon and put your foot down. First to the festival wins, so let's go! Don't sweat it, the Jets aren't in the race. They're just happy to be here. Oh yeah! Drivers coming from everywhere. Now it's a party. People are lining the streets to get a load of the action. Cheer these racers on, guys! Come on! We got some awesome racing trucks out there, too. The most incredible hypercars are all here. I can see a Centenario, Ferrari FXXK, and a beautiful Bugatti Chiron. And is that a Vulcan? Oh, Horizon, you do not want to miss out on watching this. Look at that Senna go! I mean, the car, sure, but someone's got to be handling that thing. Final straight. I can't breathe.
Pre-order now or play with Xbox Game Pass at launch.